God.
Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Rico here, and today I got a game that I found on Steam. I've been meaning to play this for a while. Had it in the wish list. Just finally got around to it. I just got done beating Outer Worlds, so I was like, alright, I want to play something totally different. I want to play a shorter, linear game. And I downloaded this game. It's called Daymare 1998. Now, if you're a fan of Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, this game kind of plays like those remakes. And it has the action of kind of Resident Evil 4. A little bit more action-packed. This game is an indie game. It was made by, I believe, some developers in Italy. And it's really good. It's a little janky. I don't think this game had any mocap, so like all of this was kind of just like all computer editing work, you know, to try to get things. I think they have a sequel, which is actually a prequel called Daymare 1994, which I'm about to play after recording this video. But they did. Honestly, it looks like they did the best they could. It's an Unreal Engine 4 game. They did the best they could as far as the animations go. It's decent as far as the animations go, but the graphics are very pretty. The gameplay is fun. The gameplay is what hooked me. I couldn't put the game down once I started playing. I almost played the entire game straight through. I think I had one break. One pause. There goes the DeLorean, by the way. It's a cool reference to the 90s. They got the DeLorean back here with the out of time license plate. But the game. So here's the thing. If you like those games, you'll want to play this game. It's not very expensive. It's on Steam. Support the developers. You know, the independent game, very good. The only thing that I can criticize on this game is one of the main characters. His name's Sam. He's a black guy, and he does not sound like a black guy. He sounds like a nerdy white guy. And I get it. In Italy, you might not be able to find I mean, just get a British guy or something. You know what I mean? Over in that side of the world, but horrible voice acting on that guy. This guy I'm playing with is, I think his name's called Raven. He sounds a lot better, but that guy's voice acting in particular was just, oh my god, I wanted to look at the reflections on the water. I wanted to put my head through a wall. Backstory on this game, basically this game was before the Resident Evil 2 remake came out, this was a this game came out in maybe 2016, I think. This is a Resident Evil 2 remake before the actual remake, like a fan remake. And Capcom flew out the people that were developing this game. It was basically just like a mod or whatever. And they basically said, hey, look, we're actually going to put out a remake. I'm going to need you to shut that down. But instead of just scrapping the entire thing, I recommend you, Capcom was saying this to them, according to their Wikipedia, I recommend you to basically write a new story and still put the game out. And they did. It's pretty freaking good. The ending was a nice twist. It was actually written pretty well to where I'm like, okay, I can't wait to play this 94, this remake. And I want a part 3. And they're working on a part 3. So I'm actually going to day one that part 3 when it comes out 100%. It's a very fun game. Like, I didn't... Any games on Steam are a hit and miss sometimes, but
especially on Fridays.
When it's a survival horror game, they're going to get me every time. A third-person action survival horror game, or just a third-person action game, they're going to get me every time. I love it. Third-person is my favorite way to play a story-driven game, so the gameplay was pretty solid. Sounds were pretty good. Actually, the sounds. Whoever did the sound design, oh my god, they were doing their thing. The sounds were great, but also the music. Whoever was doing the music, ooh, there's one spot when you're in the sewer, bro. There's a sewer section in this game. Ooh, and it's really tight quarters. It feels like you're in a damn bunker. Like, it's only... If you take the character on screen and stand them next to each other, that's how wide the tunnel is. It's very, very slender, taller, but slender, and then they have these opening areas in there where you have these fights, but... This city section was the gameplay that I wanted to use to showcase it, because it looked kind of, it gave you that, you know, you see how they were trying to make a remake, because if you look at Resident Evil 3, the gun shop on there, you could kind of see where they were going with the mod or fan remake of this game. Basically, is what it was gonna be, but they decided to make it a full game, and I'm glad they did. I'm glad they just went ahead and just put it out, changed a few things up, wrote the story, came up with some voice acting. I mean, besides that black dude, voice acting was pretty decent. I mean, I'd give this game a 7 out of 10 easy. Hopefully when I play this 1994, they had a little bit more funding. And I actually launched it for a second to look at how the graphics looked, and they're definitely an improvement. Now, these graphics are clean, but to a degree, you could see how some of this game, they just kind of took the assets that were in the standard Resident Evil, or not Resident Evil, standard Unreal Engine 4 packs and just threw them in the game. So it kind of looks a little bit like a tech demo at some points. And then at some points you're like, oh, this is interesting. I don't think I've ever saw. Okay, this doesn't look like something that would be in the Unreal Engine packs. Like, they actually did the due diligence and made this part. But like, this city part right here is one of the best parts of the game, the best looking parts of the game. There's a lot of stuff going on in this little area, and I like that feel. I like the feel of being in this city, and there's a lot of stuff everywhere. There's another DeLorean at a time, but there's a lot of stuff going on. And basically, the way this story is written, just like Resident Evil 2 and 3, you play as different perspectives. Obviously, now I'm playing as Sam, and they all tie together, which I like. That's that classic Resident Evil feel where, you know, you play through the game and you switch different characters and you get different perspective on what's going on, because everything's going on at the same time. But I don't know. I'm about to play this 1994 as soon as I get done recording this video. But I'm ready for that part 3. I ain't gonna lie, this game right here got me hooked, and especially the ending. It explains everything at the very end with some tapes that break everything down. I ain't gonna lie, I had my mouth open for a second. Pause. I was like, what? Oh, what a bamboozling. So it really is a very well crafted game for a small studio in Italy. I don't even think they have like maybe 80 or 100 employees or something. I don't know. I looked online. I saw their building. But they definitely did their thing. I can't deny it. So if you like survival horror games, kind of like Dead Space, Resident Evil, those type of games, this is an indie game. It's going to be a little bit more low budget, but they did their best. You could tell that they really did the best they could with the resources they had. They really, you know, there's a lot of big studio games that don't even put forth this much effort. So to make the game make sense and sound decent voice acting, great graphics, you know, they did their thing. A nice plot, backstory, some lore you understand at the end of the game. They did their thing. So anyway, tell me what you think about this game. I'm gonna leave the link to buy this game in the description. Tell me what you think about this game. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, twitter.com/Valrico, youtube.com/Valrico, and I'm out of this bitch. Peace.